And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Beta Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
And Emo. Today we will be reviewing the 1989 movie Kickboxer, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The IMDb says that this is Kurt Sloan must learn the ancient kickboxing art of Muay Thai in order to avenge his brother. That's basically the movie, right?
Pretty much it.
That's
it. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. That's
We're good.
basically it. Yeah, you know.
That's it. And that's it, folks, for the
Join us next week. No.
Join us next week.
No, I mean, his brother was a United States kickboxing champion. He got cocky, wanted to go to Thailand and, you know, take on their kickboxer, their champion, Kong Po. Yeah. Is that right?
Tong Po.
Tong Po. Yeah, Tong Po.
I think you're
Like
thinking
Tong.
Kung Pao. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Want some chicken?
Into the fifth.
Yes, no, Tong Po. And, you know, he gets cocky. He's not used to that style, and he gets his ass beat, and he gets paralyzed, and his brother, who is his corner man, decides he wants to avenge him. He's not a good kickboxer, so he has to go find somebody to train him. And he does, and he goes and kicks his ass. End of story.
In the story.
I mean, you get your typical 80s Jean-Claude Van Damme tropes. You know, once his brother gets paralyzed, you have the long walk through Thailand, sort of doing the reminiscing thing, seeing the sights, you know, sort of stargazing, you know, in daylight and just walking around. And then you get your training montage, him doing the split, and that's all Van Damme. You know, it's your typical 80s Van Damme action movie. Mikey?
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty much.
Without giving my, you know, thoughts of the movie or my rating, you know, that is what these 80s movies were. These 80s action movies, that it is, you know, something happens, you have your looking back scene, then you have your training scene, then you have your avenge scene. That is your typical 80s action kung fu movie plot. Mikey the Freak, what did you think?
Yeah, I always think, like, when we think 80s movies, we've made this comment before that it's BMX bicycling, it's breakdancing, it is skateboarding, and it is martial arts.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the biggest four, and and there wasn't many, like, there were sports movies out there, but I think that's every year they always have a big, or every decade they have like a, you know, bunch of sports movies. But I think when you think of those four, first thing I think of is 80s movies, and this one's a very stereotypical 80s martial arts movies, just like every other one. You know, so it's one of those to where, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme, he at the beginning of the movie, you kind of see where he looks lost.
Yes.
Like he has no clue, and he's very like what's the word
Aloof.
I'm kind of looking for?
Very
like
aloof.
a novice.
Aloof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Magoo.
Magoo. Very Magoo. Thanks, Ace. So it's one of those to where very kiddish, aloof is a perfect word for it. So, and then you kind of see him to where when that happens, when Tong Po paralyzes him by, you know, elbowing him in the back, he doesn't really snap at that point. He was pissed, and he wanted to avenge his brother's being paralyzed. He wanted to kick Tong Po's ass, but I think it really where he was during that training montage where he's trying to kick the Ananidia palm and trying to knock it down is where he said, okay, get your stuff and go. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, get your stuff. You don't want to train. And he's like, well, it's not about you. It's about your brother.
Yeah. He's like, what do you want me? What do you want me to break my leg? Oh, remember your brother. And then he just
goes ape shit.
Yeah.
And then ends up breaking the Ananidia. And I really think, you know, if anybody knows those palms, they're thick as shit. And it is, you know, I don't doubt martial arts. You know, people that study martial arts, I don't doubt that they could break shit like that with their wrists or their hand or their arms or whatever. But I mean, that's pretty epic. And you kind of see his leg is all bruised and battered and so forth. And you know, I would have broke my leg in two places. Definitely, I would have snapped it like a twig. But yeah, that's where he kind of just you know, he snaps. You know, he became like, I'm gonna do this. I'll do whatever it takes, and I'm gonna kick this guy's ass. And then you know, you have your you know, your typical scene at the end where they kind of spice it up a little bit with the glass on the knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it was like a tree sap or a honey or something that they
it
put
was
on their
a
knuckles.
resin. It was a resin.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they put that, and then they put the glass, and then he just started to go crazy. You know, he started to lose it first.
He had to
break. He was told to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he wanted to see his brother alive, he was to lose. Because that guy bet $1 million on Tong Po to win. You know, so
the guy who spoke English.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God! If you're going to make an American movie, at least you know, get some, you know, people who look, you know, Taiwanese or whatever they are, that speaks English, instead of having to dub over them. That was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. The acting wasn't the greatest in this type movie.
Yes, it was horrible.
So you know, so once Jean-Claude Van Damme, once he saw his brother, that they rescued him and they freed him, then he's like,
game on.
Game on! I'm gonna whoop this guy's ass. So, I thought that was, you know, that, and like I said, you know, that's kind of the typical 80s.
That was the 80s like action
movie.
Martial arts movie.
I love how
they come back from behind.
I love how in every Jean-Claude Van Damme movie you get two things in every movie. You get the splits, and then you get the long drawn out
with the bug eyes.
Yeah,
and you got that little shaking.
You get that long yell that I love.
That dramatic punch scene.
Yeah,
the epic punch. Yes. You get that in every single one of his movies. It's kind of funny as hell. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it was pretty standard, typical. You got to mention, you know, Bevo, I'll let you mention the drunken scene at the bar. You like that scene so well.
No. First off, it was the bearded geek who brought that up. It was not me, sir.
No, I'll mention it. This was one of my favorite scenes.
He's the one who wanted to buy the fucking shirt with him dancing on it.
This movie, Kickboxer, gave us one of the best scenes ever. It is the Jean-Claude Van Damme dance scene.
Drunken dance scene.
Yes.
The drunken dance scene. And I don't think he was definitely not drunk, so he probably dances like that in real life. Gotta have the clap.
Oh yes, the clap.
Like, what the fuck? Like, he is.
It's kind of. It's
very comical.
Yeah,
very
comical and almost hard to watch. I'm just saying. It's like, oh man, this is
like, what is he doing? It's like, oh my God.
All right, Bebo. Go ahead.
Bebo, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Bebo.
Give us your quick.
Did you watch it?
Oh, I watched it. It was painstaking, but I watched it. Like the first 37 minutes of this was probably the worst acting I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
It could have finished it in the first 5 after he got his ass kicked. Okay, we're done.
The first 37 minutes of this acting belongs in Mac and Me. Up until he starts actually training, it was like that entire part of the movie could have been cut out. All you needed to see was his brother walk into a ring, get his ass kicked, broken back, and then next he's at the dude's thing. There, we didn't have to go through the hospital shit. The 4 hours it seemed like in that 37-minute period with his brother acting all Billy Badass, who always gets played as the typical American. You know, I'm better than everybody. I could take on anybody, even if it's their sport. You know, I'm going to win type bullshit that always happened in the 80s. You know.
Oh yeah.
It was just it. If you take the acting out, it's an okay movie. But the actual fighting, you know, like we said, it's your typical 80s martial art movies, but especially when you grew up in that time frame, you always thought that was really cool. And now you look at it and we're just like, why? What is with the over when he punches somebody? Like, it makes no sense. And what I thought was really stupid about the fight scene is he's fighting Tong Po, who's beating his ass because he has to lose because he's trying to save his brother. Tong Po is slicing him on his thighs, on his stomach, on his face with the broken glass. When he sees that his brother is okay, he has his shit cut off of him. So where's the revenge in that part? He never once hits him with the glass, which I thought was funny. Like, not even once. Tong Po had the shit kicked out of him, but never had any part of him actually cut from the glass.
That's true.
Dirty fighting. Jean-Claude Van Damme don't want to do dirty fighting, I guess.
Yeah. Not even going to get into that. It was your typical Van Damme movie. It was bad acting, a split or two, and then some kung fu. So there you go. You don't need to bother watching the movie. I just explained it for you. Really simple, quick. So I don't know. So who wants to go with the rating?
I'll do my rating.
Let me mention this too, because when he's pulling the lever or the pulley with him trying to do a split, it shows him stretching, and that's fucking painful.
Yeah,
that was painful to watch. Even though we know he could split all the way without having to test and try to get there, that was just painful. The whole scene was like, I don't want to watch this.
That was good acting.
That hurt. That was hurt.
That was good acting. Yeah.
That hurts.
I'll go ahead and give my ratings. I actually have very fondness for this movie. Jesus Christ!
For splits.
Yeah,
splits. He loves splits.
I really enjoy this type of 80s action kung fu movie. I don't know why. I just really do. The acting was bad.
Either.
The acting was bad. The camera work was not bad. I enjoyed the cinematography of it. But the acting was horrible. How they explain Jean-Claude Van Damme being American. Okay, whatever. Their parents.
Isn't he like Austrian or German?
Yeah, he grew up in Belgium. Yeah, he grew up in Belgium.
Belgium, that's it.
Yeah, and his brother grew up in America. So they explained that okay. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get. I can't give this much higher than a 6.5. 6.5.
You can't even get out the number. He didn't even say 7. He got 7.
Yeah,
that's way too high. 7's way too high.
I don't want to give it too low, but I can't give it too high either. So 6.5 for me. Like I said, I feel like that's pretty high.
That's 6.5 is high.
Yeah. I'm sure these two are going to give it much lower. But for me, 6.5. I enjoy these type movies. I have a fondness for them. But other than that, I know that it's trash movies. But what can you say? You like what you like. Mikey the Freak. What do you for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything that I really enjoyed about this movie. I mean, I like fighting movies. But when I was little, the only movie like that I've really ever liked, and it still was kind of it was an okay martial arts movie, was The Last Dragon, which was also an 80s movie. But and I could sit down and watch that all day long, but I don't go for the martial arts. But the choreography was good. But I do agree, some of the martial arts fighting in this movie is okay. It's probably a C at most. But my rating, just because it's Jean-Claude Van Damme, it's going to be a 3. Just because,
I was guessing a 4 for you, but you took it down a notch.
4, I was teetering, I was teetering between a 3 and a 4.
There was no boobies in this movie. No boobies, so.
No, there's no boobies in this movie, and yeah. So I'm not like I said, I wasn't really fond. I'll never watch this movie again. It's one of those where I remember that movie back then, and I watched it probably early 90s. I probably watched it first, and I'm like, it's okay for martial arts. And now you're watching it, and I'm like, man, this is a cheesy fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'll never watch it again. So I can't recommend it to anybody just because of that. But either way, I'm going with a 3. I could borderline a 4, close to a 4, but I'm still staying with a 3 though. Bevo, what about yourself?
I'm right there with Mikey the Freak. I'm sorry, this sure as shit ain't going up to a 6. And Sev was not even remotely thought about being started. I'm definitely probably going to go with a 3 as well. I mean, it's your typical, like we said, it's your typical 80s, martial arts film, especially for a Van Damme martial arts film.
Yeah.
The only one I would picture that had shittier martial arts, if you will, would be American Ninja, because that wasn't really martial arts.
I liked American Ninja, Bebo. Michael Dudikoff? Come on.
Listen. I like him, and the acting in that was way better than the acting in this one, okay?
Yeah.
Which is saying something.
But the martial arts is worse.
The martial arts was very much like,
It's like, you hit me. You were supposed to fall down now.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what that movie was.
Mortal Kombat.
That was American Ninja. Yeah.
But back to this one. I'm right there with you on 3. It was okay for the martial arts of its time. And it is a typical, to me, 80s Van Damme, martial arts film. The acting, like I said, is fucking horrible. I'm sorry. It is fucking horrible. And I mean, I'm sorry, but when the greatest actor in the entire thing is the dude who's training Van Damme, kind of got a little bit of an issue with it. Because he went back and forth between English and Thai.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Thai acting was much better than the American acting. But it was just, overall for me, it's definitely not a movie I'd recommend. And it is not one that I could say I'd ever watch again. Like if it was on TV, I'd be like, hey, I remember that. And then change the channel.
Would you say that the extras on the street had better acting than the actors that were paid?
The women who were dancing in the dance drunk scene were better actors than anybody in this film. They had to enjoy pretending to dance with an American guy who danced like.
Yeah. Oh, keep doing those. Yes, dance it.
Okay,
dance
I mean, my God. If I still drink, I'd need a drink to watch this again. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
But no, I'm at a 3. Unlike Mikey the Freak, I would never border this on a fucking 4. 3.1 maybe on a good day. But yeah, that's where I am.
I got you. All right, Bebo, what do we have for some movie trivia?
So just a few things here that I thought were interesting for this one. The guy who plays Eric Sloan, the brother, his name is actually Dennis Alexio. He actually was a world light heavyweight and world cruiserweight kickboxing champion in real life.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was interesting, especially since when you're watching him do it in the thing, it doesn't look that great.
That's why he's not a good actor either.
The guy who played Poe, his name is Michael Kesey. He was actually a technical advisor / choreographer. When you overheard the production crew say they were looking for a tall Oriental looking guy with a background in Muay Thai, he actually volunteered and got the part of Tong Po because he's actually originally from Morocco. So they actually added makeup to make him look more Asian, which is probably why his face kind of looked the way it did in the movie.
Gotcha.
Another thing I thought was kind of interesting is that Chuck Norris was originally supposed to play Kurt Sloan.
Would have been a way better movie.
Yeah.
Not really. I like it the way it is. Chuck Norris would have taken away from it. In my opinion.
Of course, in your opinion. But other than that, a lot of it is mainly about like production stuff or like locations they shot and stuff. But those were just a few things that I found that I thought were kind of interesting about the movie.
All right. Now we have some movie memorabilia. Oh, let's see. We have a funny kickboxer movie, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dancing Shirt. That's right. You could pick one up for $14.49.
In case you're wondering, the
It's on
Bearded
the
Geek
way.
has bought 2 of them.
I really
It is
want
on
one.
the
I'm not
way.
gonna lie, I want one. We also have a Kickboxer VHS movie video, the Japanese version, for $66.50. And
No.
last but
I'm
not
good.
least, the Kickboxer 4x6 foot French version for $589. And that is
There's
all.
a French version.
There is a French version, yeah. That is all we
Oh
have
my
for
God.
movie memorabilia.
The
So-
acting may have been better, but it was dubbed in French.
Mikey the Freak, what do we have for some related reels?
There is one actor in particular that only has done anything in this movie, and that is Jean-Claude Van
Van
Damme.
Damme.
Everyone else in this movie are either stunt actors now or did stunts. Choreographers like Kesey, and then Sloan. Is it Alexo? He hasn't done anything in the 80s. So that's really basically the only thing he really did. So some Jean-Claude Van Damme movies that are I think are borderline worth watching.
He's gonna say it. He's gonna
Let's
say it.
say
He's
it.
gonna say it.
I know
I'm
he's
gonna say it. You know I'm gonna say it. The first one, Expendables 2,
Okay.
where he does play a villain in Expendables 2. That's not a bad movie with the Expendables. That has all the 80s actors, A+ actors. Sudden Death. Sudden Death was actually one of the better movies that I actually liked from Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Is that the one with the hockey and his
Yes.
sons in
Yes.
the ring?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That one was. I thought that one was a
That was
fairly good one.
that one was okay.
Wait, before you mention the third.
No, I got 4.
Oh,
So
you
the
got
third
4?
one,
Okay.
yeah. You'll probably know what I'm gonna mention on the 4th one.
Okay.
I gotta save the best for last. The third one is Time Cop. So we mentioned Time Cop in one of our previous podcasts.
We've mentioned
I think we mentioned them in damn near every one. It feels like.
Yes, I think we mentioned
yeah.
Time Cop as much as we mentioned Mac and Me.
I feel like we even mentioned Time Cop in Mac and Me.
We probably did. And go ahead before I mention the last one, because you know me just as well. What were you gonna say?
Street Fighter.
Absolutely, Street Fighter is my 4th and probably my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, just because it's a video game that I enjoyed playing when I was a kid.
Well, it also has Raul Julia too in it. So.
Yeah, Raul Julia played Bison. There is Ming Na Wen from the Book of Boba Fett. She plays Chun-Li. And then everyone else I have no clue. So, but yeah.
Oh no. There's plenty of people from that movie. You have, the boxer guy. He was the intelligent agent on Die Hard. He was one of the FBI people.
One of the other Johnsons.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but you have to admit though, the Bearded Geek's right when he says there's a lot of actors in that movie because it's a fucking movie and everybody in it was a fucking actor.
Was it the big Chinese guy? Wasn't he the dude from?
That's
Necessary Roughness, right?
Yeah, he is the center from Necessary Roughness. Yep.
And he's doing it real well in the whole, part of, the boxer guy, the big guy.
I don't remember their names from the movie.
Now, are you talking about the sumo wrestler being the center?
Honda?
Different guys.
Yeah.
No.
Was not in Street Fighter.
No.
Different guy. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Are you sure? He's probably looked it up. Beavis probably looked it up.
Okay.
I swear it was the same guy.
I thought it was too. If it's
what movie was this?
Street Fighter and Necessary Roughness. E Honda, I believe it. Yeah. Was it E Honda?
Oh, let's look it up real quick. We'll look.
I'll be honest with you. The reason I said no is what movie I was thinking of? The fucking Replacements.
That's a different guy.
Of course, that's a whole different ball.
Listen, okay, it was a sumo wrestler. Damn it, it was close enough.
We don't have time. We're not going to look it up.
Me and the Bearded Geek are right. I'm sure we're right.
If not, somebody will let us know in the comments.
I think we're right.
Yeah,
we're good.
All right, so
that's it.
As we come to a close, do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us what movie you would like us to review. Tell us if you liked this movie. If you liked our review of the movie. Just leave a freaking comment. Say something, please.
Talk, people, talk.
Yes, let us know you're out there. We love you. We really do. Well, sort of. I do believe that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Mikey the Freak and Bebo, I am the Beta Geek, and keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.